Next two teams on the docket, I want to zoom into Friday's matchup and take a look at the goings-on at Gotham FC. Strong postseason, culminating in the franchise's first NWSL Championship, and an even stronger offseason, with all due respect to the great Esther Gonzalez. Feels like Gotham FC is out here trying to plant their flag as Team America. What do we need to know about this Gotham FC side?
I'll say, I know Premier League fans, they sometimes mock the Community Shield, but when the NWSL announced that the Challenge Cup was going to be changed to the first match of the season and that it was going to have this name, I fucking love playing for a trophy. The first match of the season. I love that we have the ability, me and soccer snobbery, football snobbery, and like, do we have to have playoffs? Shouldn't it just be everybody play twice and then we crown a champ? At least the playoff system gets us this match where the winner of the playoffs, the NWSL champion, plays the winner of the NWSL Shield. So assuming the same team doesn't win both and then you have to play the second place team, I like that it has at least created that. And now we kick off the year with a banger of a match. Mm-hmm. What do we have to look for from Gotham? They lost their captain and their leader, Ali Krieger. I think it's impossible to argue against the idea that they have not significantly improved over the course of the offseason. I mentioned Rose Lavelle and Emily Sonnet when I talked about my Seattle Reign. They also signed two players you may have heard of, Crystal Dunn and Tierna Davidson, going back to your point of Team USA basically playing out there for the Bats. Mind you, this squad still has the aforementioned Esther Gonzalez, Midge Purse, Lynn Williams, Kelly O'Hara, and oh yeah, maybe one of the best young American players, Jenna Neiswanger. They are the favorites to win the league.
Certainly appears so. I believe it was the great Kanye West, or maybe it was the great Sean Carter. It doesn't matter. One of the two, maybe both of them, said it best when they asked the question, who gonna stop me, huh?
A fair question.
Can anyone stop Gotham FC?
I think so, sure. That is why we play the matches. I mean, how many times have we seen over the course of sports a super team get built and then something weird happens, a couple bounces go the wrong way. I don't think this is likely to happen, but maybe personalities don't mesh. Maybe people are annoyed about their minutes. There are a lot of things that can happen. And then we talk about, too, maybe this is, I feel like, your traditional American sports fans would say that's what's cool about a playoff system. So yeah, maybe Gotham wins the Shield, but maybe they don't win the NWSL Championship. I think that's on the board.
I agree with that.
They're obviously going to be awesome, but yeah, sure, somebody could stop them, I think.
I think we'll get a nice preview Friday night. Let's scoot over to the team that they are taking on in the NWSL Challenge Cup, the San Diego Wave. What do we need to know about the Wave?
The 2023 NWSL Shield Winners. They lost in the semifinal round of the playoffs at home to the Seattle Reign. But you already know they're looking to finish the job this year. I think that is another interesting thing. I'm going to keep talking about this because I think it's an odd system for a football league to use. But okay, we won the Shield. Do you care about the Shield? I think you should, personally, because you play every other team twice and you finish with the most points. But then you can still leave with that sour taste in your mouth of, yeah, but we didn't win, quote unquote, the title. I think we got to start with, if we're talking about the San Diego Wave, we talked about her plenty, the best player of the CONCACAF W Gold Cup, Jaden Shaw.
How about that?
You quoted some pretty famous musicians there in Jay-Z and Kanye West. Allow me to quote the great Whitney Houston. I believe the children are our future. I'm only kidding. I mean, Jaden Shaw, she's a grown woman, but that's an old man reference, and I thought it was funny to say. But I am looking for this to be a breakout year for Shaw.
I mean, I think the pump has certainly been primed for that. And speaking of bridging eras, kind of symbolic, too, that also Alex Morgan's on this team. You know, between Jaden Shaw and Naomi Girma, one of their stalwart defenders, they might have had two of the best five players in all the CONCACAF W Gold Cup tournament. Mm-hmm. San Diego Wave's got a great squad, great roster. I think you absolutely should take pride in finishing at the top of the standings after a full year. With that said, you know, the knockout nature of the very American-style playoffs, also a really cool wrinkle. It's one of these things where I always harken back to boxing a little bit. Boxing usually might have 4 or 5 champions in the same division, and they all kind of mean something, but no one title means everything. I think that's a kind of a cool feature of the NWSL League, and I love the Challenge Cup getting reduced down to just one match. You get to raise the cup, and the season kicks off like 15, 16 hours later in proper. I think the way they've architected the league structure and how they're rolling out the start of the season, props to them. I think this is going to be a very exciting few days coming up here.
100%. I want to just quickly highlight a couple additions to San Diego. They acquired 21-year-old Swedish international Hannah Lundqvist. She spent some time in midfield for Atletico Madrid in the last 2 seasons, going back to me and you watching European football. The waiver listing her as a defender, which I think is pretty interesting, kind of looking to fortify the back line with Naomi Girma a little bit. They also added the NWSL Player of the Month for July of 2023. That's Savannah McCaskill. Now, not only did they add McCaskill to the midfield, but they took her from in-state rival Angel City FC, and frankly, marketing rival Angel City FC. I know San Diego, and there's some distance between San Diego and LA, but it just feels like those are your 2 clubs in the league that are like really fighting for all of the eyeballs in terms of like smart and cool marketing. So I will say, if there's one thing I'm kind of looking for in terms of on the pitch performance with those couple of signings, it would seem like San Diego is trying to shore up a defense. So it's going to be interesting to see how Lundqvist and McCaskill fit into there with Naomi Girma, with an attack that already boasts Alex Morgan and Jaden Shaw.
We are covering women's football every week here on Into the Channel, sometimes twice a week if we're in good form. Let us know what we missed in the comments. Obviously, everyone out there who chimes in elevates the show. You have no idea how much Grant and I appreciate it. Like Grant always says, this is a learning podcast, and we learn just as much from each and every one of you as we do from our independent research and from watching the games, bro. Be sure to like if you liked and subscribe if you love the women's game as much as your boys do. This week, mega NWSL preview. We covered all 14 NWSL teams as they kick off the season. In our next episode, we're going to preview all 4 UEFA Women's Champions League quarterfinal matchups as well. So if you're not locked into the Champions League, do yourself a favor. Let's broaden those horizons. This is a global game. There is talent on every corner of the planet, and we're doing as much as we can to cover as much of it as we can. Thank you for hanging out with us. Remember to subscribe, and thank you to my co-host, Mr. Grant Engel.
You couldn't have said it better, my good man. Those Champions League games, in my veins, brother. That is some good football. But the NWSL, it's one of the world's elite leagues. We're watching it. We're picking up steam. We're trying to pick up as much as we can. If this video was about one of your favorite teams or your favorite team, let us know what we missed. Let us know what we overlooked. We are trying to pick up as much knowledge as possible. You know, we've watched some of the games from the past seasons, but we don't claim to know it all. So just drop it in the comments. Let us know what we need to cover for next time. We'll be watching the games, bro. We know you will too. We will see you guys next time.